Welcome to Traders of the Lost Charts. I'm your host, Sarah Ristaino. Tonight's episode was recorded with the vivacious Sasha, known around here as Observe Thyself. Sasha and I recorded this back in October of 2022, and we were both enjoying a drink and a friendly conversation. And I was still in my cute little basement studio at my dad's house. And I think that everyone will enjoy sharing in the conversation that we had. So here we go.
Spectacular results of the Ranger and Mariner mission. And the other...
He's a family man who enjoys the way.
Hello, Sasha. How are you?
Hey, Sarah. I'm good. Good. Sunday. It's overcast. That's cool.
Overcast is some of my favorite weather, depending on how much sun exposure I previously had.
I did see your arms earlier, and I must say they're very tan.
Oh, yeah.
Partly
Farmer's tan. Farmer's tan.
The part that's tan is amazing, though.
The parts that is tan is glowing. It looks incredible. The part that is not tan is also glowing, but that's just because of how much light it reflects.
It's a Santa tan on one side and like an Iowa tan on the other. Like a winter Iowa.
I like to feel like this is a Neapolitan.
Oh, you did that. Neapolitan. Dad joke check.
Yeah. So where are you from, Sasha? Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Just rocking and rolling on the East Coast over here.
East Coast, all-American woman.
You know it.
What do you do, Sasha? What do you do for a living?
I am a hairstylist for a living, and hobby is DJ now, although it used to be sort of a second job. But now it's just like whenever I feel like it. So no pressure.
For sure, no pressure.
Part-time trader, part-time lover.
You sound like maybe the coolest person I've ever heard of. Like, I'm a hairdresser that's a DJ.
I'm definitely
and a part-time trader.
Got my fantasy football team playing today. We'll see how that goes.
Do you bet real money?
We do. Yeah, it's real.
That's fun.
Real money. Much like trading, I don't ever expect to see it again. But I do put money in.
That is the quandary. Yeah. But I imagine trading has become a little more important in your life. I mean, you were able to meet me, and the only way that was possible was through our mutual interest in trading. Someone's here.
Yeah.
Someone is here.
Who is it?
It's Claire. Who is that? I'm really sorry.
Hey, Claire.
I ruined it.
Oh, Claire Bear.
The podcast. I need a sign on the door.
Hi, Claire Bear.
I love you, Claire.
I get to see the whole family.
Yeah.
Has she gotten taller? She got taller.
She is so tall. Hey, Claire, can you make a sign on the door that says recording? Say the mic is hot.
Tell Dad to come down.
Yeah, tell my dad to come down.
Yeah, tell him to come down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else in the Ristaino family want to come down the street?
Everyone gets a cameo.
I love it. Oh, God.
Anyway, yeah.
But yeah. but yeah, I've gotten a little more serious about trading in the last couple of years here. So
yeah,
I'd like to eventually switch over to just trading for a living, which I think a lot of people that we know that's the hope, the goal, as it were. I shouldn't say hope.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel like any job I could have with my position in life would be akin to a hobby versus what I could
Yeah.
potentially make trading. Even
Yeah.
the delivery job I have, that is intense, can be exhausting, kind of fun, good workout. Even
Good
that,
workout.
compared to what I could potentially make trading, is basically a hobby.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. But it's I think anything, if you do it long enough and hard enough, it's going to feel like a job. So I imagine
Yeah.
trading is going to be the same way.
Mm.
Once we all get there, and that's what we're doing for a living. But
Mhm.
at least I won't have people sort of talking back to me and being bratty. It's just me and the charts.
Yeah, but the charts are gonna be bratty.
Yeah, they'll be bratty, but I can handle that
The
as
charts
opposed
are
to
gonna.
actual voices speaking to me.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, why are you acting so bearish, charts?
Why are you being so bearish today? Speaking
Why
of
are you
bearish,
doing that?
been an ugly market recently
Yeah.
as of this recording.
As of
What
this
is this? September
recording.
25th, 2022 here, September
Mhm.
25th. Been ugly.
Yeah, how
Been
long do
ugly.
you feel like that's gonna go for? I feel like we're
Could
looking
be a
at
while.
like another year, 2 years, 5
I would
years.
say at least another year, I would think.
At
Yeah,
least.
at least. At least. It's not pretty. Not
It's a
pretty.
good
And it's got way
opportunity.
more room to go down is the problem. It's like,
Yes.
since there's more room to go down, and it's sort of did like a big slide, and now it's sort of like evening out a little. It's like, another big slide is going to come. It's just going to be, is it going to be fast or is it going to be slow? um I don't know, we'll see, but at least another year, I would think. At least, yeah, a couple more. Who
For
knows?
sure.
I'm not an
Yeah.
economist.
I
Jim.
am also not an economist, but I am a pessimist.
Which is probably close enough.
Very close. I agree.
I think that's close enough.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. I mean, I'm more of an optimist, so I probably would go on the lower end, and you would probably go on the bigger end, I guess.
You're predicting a little bit more. I'm predicting 10 years of devastation.
10 years.
Yes.
It could be. I mean, I don't know. We'll see, right? I don't know.
Yeah, we will see. We will see.
It'll be somewhere between 1 and 10 years.
Mhm.
Probably.
For sure.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it's been ugly.
and I tried to interrupt you earlier. I was saying it's a good opportunity for, and I didn't mean that it's a good opportunity for making money. What I meant was it's a good opportunity for paper trading and learning.
It is.
It
I
is.
mean, it can be a really good opportunity for making money.
Mhm.
Also, you just have to know where to put it and when. You can
Right.
still make tons of money in a bear market. When you consider even in a bull market, the majority of the time you're going to find stocks are moving downwards. I mean,
Mhm.
on any given day, in any given moment, overall, you can make more money when things are generally going to go down.
Yeah,
But
so would you say like more so with like a shorting strategy or just reading the oscillations the same way you would read them in a bear market? I mean, a bull market.
so yeah, it's sort of the way I look at it is people tend to be like either perma bears or perma bulls, like they're
Mhm.
more likely to trade one way or the other. And so if you're a bull and you're in a bear market, you can still find times where things are going up. I mean, not everything's going to be red every day. There's sectors that do better and than others in bear markets. And did I say bull market earlier? Bear anyway. But in a bear market, you've still got things that are going to be up, and bull market, you've got things that'll be down, and moments in time where things are going to be going up or down. So you can always pick and find whatever suits your personal trading style. I happen to be a kind of a bull. I like things to go up, and I kind of can tell when things are going to go up better than I can kind of tell when things. Well, I don't know if that's true, but I kind of feel like I'm optimistic. I like seeing green. I like things to go up. So I always tend to look more for bullish signals, except for crypto trading, which is different. With the crypto futures, I will definitely short something just as easily as I would go up, which maybe I should position that in my regular trading too.
Yeah.
It's easier to short things in crypto futures. You're not necessarily putting up a bunch of, you're not going to get margin called like you are in the actual stock market.
What do you like crypto for shorting, but you like
crypto
stocks for
crypto
being
futures.
bullish. Crypto futures,
yeah, crypto futures. And I've never done, to be honest, I've never traded actual regular futures, but I imagine it's probably much the same, where you're using a certain amount of leverage, but it's not necessarily margin. So you're not going to get like a phone call from some dude, behind a desk going, "Hey,
right,
you need to deposit $100,000 immediately." Like, I'm going to hang up on you now.
Yeah.
Crypto futures, you're basically just guessing which way it's going to go, and you've got your money on it either way, and it's leverage as opposed to margin. So all you can really lose, like much like options with stocks, is you're just using what you've put in essentially. And then you either get liquidated or you make money or you lose money or whatever, but you're not having to deposit more money to cover one position. So that's
certainly an advantage.
Yes. Yes. Just pick the right direction and use the right amount of leverage. Because if you're going high on your leverage, you can easily get wiped out, which I have done many, many times.
Yeah. How does it feel to be wiped out?
You know what it feels like? It feels like, have you ever done something really stupid and you go, "I'm never going to do that again." And then the next time you do it, you rear end somebody and you're like, or you notice that you swerve a little on the road because you were looking at your phone, which you should never, ever do. Or something ridiculous, and then you just get so mad at yourself. That is what it's like. It's like that. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And you can only blame yourself. And then you just get so angry with yourself that you're like, "I'm never doing this again." And then
you
one
feel
day
that
you do
I know
again.
better.
I
know better.
You have to sit down with yourself and have like a conversation, and you're like, "Why did you do it again?" It's like you're having like your own parent-child talk with yourself. It's pitiful. You feel like a failure at life because you know better.
I'm sorry that you've been through that.
I think everybody
never lost money trading, so I don't know what that feels like.
Really? You never?
No.
I know you're lying because we are both in GameStop, so I definitely know that at least you've seen your portfolio dwindle and go up and dwindle and go. Which
GameStop,
our favorite stock.
Our favorite stick it to the man stock.
Stick it to the man. Stick it to the pan. Not to be confused with AMC at all. But
AMC is
holders.
like the less cool cousin that is trying to be as cool as their actual cool cousin.
It's the cousin that just like kind of like hangs around, but they're awkward at the party and they just don't really know what to do. So they just kind of come over and like, "Hey,
right.
Are you doing anything fun these days? Can I come along?" Or no, that's cool. No, okay.
Like, no thanks. Like AMC, just go home. Just go home.
I think we for most of the people on our trading Discord, I think a lot of us joined up because a lot of us were in GameStop in the first place, and it's not a GameStop Discord, but it just so happened that a lot of us happened to be in that trade, and
Yeah.
still
It was a
are in the
combination.
trade.
GameStop provided the publicity and like the common ground we needed to find each other.
Yes. All
Yes.
those folks who had a dream, and it's one of those things where there's a sense of camaraderie when people are holding something to the point, that it's been like over a year. I don't even know how long it's been now.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. So it's 2020. Or was it 2020 that happened?
Yeah.
And
The really big move was January 2021. That was a
28th,
big move.
right? Was it January 28th?
It was something like
Yeah,
that.
we were holding.
Not all of us
we were-
held through it. Not all of us were that strong.
Not all of us did. I certainly sold most of mine that day,
Mhm.
and if not all of it. Did I sell all of it? I definitely sold most of it. I don't really recall, but it was, and then I bought it right back.
And that's
right.
the instinct of a trader, though. You see you're hugely in profit, you're going to take profit.
Yeah,
but it's a
just
different thing when you're holding to be part of the actual movement. That's an entirely different thing.
Yeah. So, and I think that movement to keep holding obviously happened sort of after that January 28th situation, which I think I know that you and I both had it from at least November of 2019, right? And you had yours longer, actually, I think before me or something, because I was just trading options on it and like bought a couple in November of 2019, and I could swear that you had said you had yours from like October or something. But I think it's the holding on to it part, like the fact that I bought back in and like now and then ended up with like more than what I had before, because it was like this groundswell movement of like, no, we're not. We see what happened there that day, and we see that we come to find out with the the congressional hearings that they even say in the report that much of those shorts were not covered. And it's like, well, if they didn't cover, and we can see on the charts that they didn't cover, then why are we just going to give up our shares for pennies on the dollar, essentially for nothing? It's like, no,
right.
We're gonna, and not only that, but there's a bigger moral story behind it, which is the things that hedge funds and firms go out there and do to regular people every single day. And they've been doing it since the beginning. I mean, we're all trying to stand up for something, and whether it does anything or not, it makes you feel good to stand up for a cause. And we hope we actually
it's
have
certainly putting pressure.
Impact.
It's putting pressure on the system. It is. And
it's
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting when you see the new rules that are proposed, and they are in favor of the system. And like, it's like, thanks for the new rules that are definitely going to screw me over. Thank you for that.
They're just all sort of letting the whole thing be. It's like they're just moving rules around. They're not even making it better for retail traders. They're just making everything easier for bigger firms to not fail and to have.
They just make it up as they go.
Net.
I had a sister I used to play Monopoly with when I was, a little girl, and she would change the rules in her favor during the game, and I always lost. Always.
Did you let her though?
I did. She was
much.
I didn't know. I didn't understand. From my emotional position, she would pit me.
You didn't know.
And my other sister that was closer to my age, she would pit us against each other, and she purposely let us take each other out on the board while gathering sympathy for herself. Like, you guys, you know that if I have to pay this hotel right now, that's going to wipe me out of the game, right? And I want to keep playing. We'd be like, oh, we'll give you 3 more times around the board. And then we would land on her hotel, and she'd go, no, you have to pay right now.
Aw, man.
And she would win. And she would win.
Course.
And that is what they're doing to us. That is what they are doing to us.
So do you think that DRS is going to make a huge difference? I think the most recent earnings, they said something like 23% of the shares are DRS at this point.
It is.
Which is direct registration. If anybody doesn't know what DRS is, it's when you actually go in through the company that issues is the go-between between GameStop and the shareholder.
It's a way, in theory, to ensure that you're holding legitimate shares that cannot be borrowed or lended out.
Right. Okay. So do you think that that's going to make a big difference?
The theory is that once all of the available shares are DRS and are not available to borrow or lend out, any illegal activity taking place will be exposed as super obvious.
Even though it already is.
Even though it already is. I don't know. Because it is already obvious.
We'll find
and
out.
23% is a lot. It's not 100%.
Not even close to 100%. But it's impressive for being less than a year. I think that people have been kind of doing it. And I was really sort of against it at first. I still am on the fence about it, but I do have like 3 shares that are DRS just in case.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll DRS more. It's just you can see though recently, and I don't really know if it's because of the bear, like suddenly we have a bear market, but when the DRS movement started, it was a bull market. I don't know if it's having an impact on the number of shares that are traded or not, but it certainly has slowed down, like the numbers of trades per day. I think last week we had some of the lowest trading going on with GameStop since maybe last year. So it's like, or summer of last year or something, but I don't know, maybe it was December or November, but there was like definitely some low trading numbers coming through this week, and maybe it's having some kind of an effect. I would love to see, like, I can't wait to see if that actually makes some people have to cover later if it gets closer to 50%.
Yeah, it may
more.
take a few more years even of, slowly DRSing over time to force things out. But the bear market is certainly in favor of the shorters.
Yeah, sure, depending. Yeah. Well, certainly in one respect, you could say a lot of times with GameStop where it's popped or made a big upswing, it's been because of options, and certainly during a bear market because it's so far below, and so are a lot of things, but I'm specifically talking about GameStop. It's so far below so many people's cost basis right now. They're not writing calls on it. So you have so many less options out there, which doesn't really increase volatility. So it's kind of just everything's sort of flat with it. But and that's happening to a lot of different stocks, obviously, in the bear market. So you're right. It can actually benefit shorters because they can kind of just keep pushing it down with not a whole lot of risk on their part that it's going to go flying through the roof one day.
But it also benefits people that are trying to DRS and trying to accumulate more.
Yeah, because it makes it cheaper. So they have to, bears always have to be very careful of that. That you get it too low, or, right now it's pretty low. People will just be eating it up because these are people that have, I've been waiting for it to get to $24, $25, whatever. Let me buy, a few of these. You got like 1 million people buying 4 shares or something. Next thing you know, you're going to be even, it's going to get even tighter, and you're going to really have to be making up some shares to keep shorting it, which is what they've done. But, it's silly. But I think originally we were talking about AMC, and that was what made me think of GameStop. Because originally AMC actually was one of those big 10 or whatever it was stocks that were Wall Street Bets was kind of like pushing. And somehow, though, at some point, somebody decided that they needed to interlock GameStop with AMC. And there is just no reason to do that. I guess they could have picked anything, BlackBerry or Nokia or, Koss or any of those ones that were kind of big in that time frame. But I don't know why they needed to get interlocked. And then somehow along the way, they became like hateful of each other. The people that had it for each one. It's like, no,
I remember.
No, it's all of AMC the whole time.
Yeah, the side by side comparisons of the charts. Like, look, these charts are doing the exact same thing.
Each other.
Yeah, even my brother was like, "Look, Sarah, these are exactly the same charts. Like, it really doesn't matter which one you get into." But then I guess there was a disagreement on that, or like what it meant.
Yeah,
And
because
then
if you looked at a lot of stocks, they were doing that. SPY, especially, you can look at SPY and GameStop or SPY and AMC, and they all look similar. It's all retail.
and then there's that issue of your efforts being split. So if you're in GameStop and you're also in AMC, that means you've got fewer GameStop shares that you could have.
Oh, no.
And like splitting your efforts is, again, it's what traders do. We like to diversify and hedge and everything. But, when you're talking about something that is not just the money-making thing, it's not just let's pump this up, it's let's expose what's going on and concentrate our efforts. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of disagreement there.
A lot of disagreement, a lot of like hatefulness for no reason towards people that really originally were in the same place. And it's like, well, why are you all, I don't understand like why people are sort of have like camps against each other.
It's that tribalism.
Like, they're stocks, guys. Like, calm down. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's a stock. You're gonna be all right. Like, they're both gonna probably, if they're gonna have a moment, they'll have a moment. It doesn't.
If AMC,
they could both have a moment.
And if AMC wants to start really doing better, Hollywood needs to get it together. Maybe hire some decent writers.
Hollywood is apparently having a comeback right now. I mean, since the last couple months, I guess people have been going to see movies more. I don't know. That in my opinion, there's so many different ways that they can make that company better. And I feel like their CEO and among other people on that board just don't really care that much. Somebody had a really good, I don't want to piss anybody off here with the AMC holders, but somebody had a really good assessment of Adam Aron, and I thought it was fascinating and very viable.
Okay.
They were saying, you know how people put just like dummy people on the boards of companies just to basically just sort of help make it crappy so they can buy it for really cheap and just or buy it and then short it to death.
It's a strategy.
It is a strategy. Yeah, there are a lot of idiots on a lot of boards of companies, and they're getting paid, by the way. Board members get paid. So there's like a theory out there that Adam Aron was put on AMC's board to basically help tank the company, right? So that he wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't help like make it a better company, forward thinking, nothing was going to go on. And that he got stuck there after what happened in January of 2020. And like, he didn't know what to do. So like he was put there by the people that were trying to short it to death and try to help them. But then it got more valuable as a company. So through the shares. And so then he was like trying to be helpful to the shareholders because they were looking up to him. So then he was just stuck in the middle. And I think that's a really viable concept for what happened there, why there's
no way he went on the board thinking, oh yeah, this company has such a big future. Like,
what we need is more movie theaters.
Yeah. So
nobody's going to the theaters.
Conspiracy or not, that's what happened.
It's a really bold thought. I like the concept, but yeah, theaters really, they need to be finally, like what, a year and a half later, he comes out with the concept of doing concerts from so that you could go to the theater and see a live concert that's happening somewhere else, but they're like, streaming it in from somewhere and you're watching on the big screen and everybody's having a good time and you get popcorn or whatever you get.
And that's cute.
It's a great concept, especially for teenagers. They don't have anywhere to go half the time except for like, down by the lake,
That sounds like a solid idea, honestly.
The mall. Yeah. So I think they did that a couple times. I don't know how it went really. Was it Chance the Rapper did, I think, the first one, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really know how. I never found out how it all went, but a great concept, stuff like that could help your company out. Yeah, let's do that stuff. So in a way, Adam Aron looks like he's actually trying to help. I don't really know if it's true or not.
Yes. So, as we both know, this podcast is the child of the Rocky Outcrop Discord.
It is.
And we met on the Rocky Outcrop Discord.
We did. How did we not meet on Reddit?
I don't know. Well, it's anonymous. Yeah.
So they say.
How did you find your way there?
To the Rocky Outcrop Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on a different Discord, and there were people that kept telling me about this guy Rocky Outcrop and how he's shadow banned on YouTube. I didn't even know what that meant. I did not even know what that meant. I'm still not entirely sure what it means. I don't know if that's a real thing or people just say I'm shadow banned because for whatever I think it is a real thing, but it has something to do with like algorithms or I don't know what.
Right.
So I was like, ooh, shadow banned. That sounds interesting.
It is.
They were like him and his brother Jamie, definitely they totally know what they're talking about if you're interested in like actual trading, like on using indicators and charting and that kind of thing. I was like, well, yeah, technical analysis. Let's do it.
Right, because you had been looking up different indicators to use yourself.
Yep.
So for you, it was natural to be like, oh, these guys know about indicators. They know about charts. Okay.
Yeah, and of course, Jamie at the time had sort of started. I guess had just maybe gotten sort of some notoriety on Reddit for like his sort of rant that would be included in these like videos that people would do and talk about GameStop and stuff like that. But I think I checked out Rocky first because that's who they were talking about. And when they were talking about his brother trade spotting, I didn't know what they were talking about. I was like, is that a real brother in real life, or is this just like his friend brother? I don't know what
like his brother.
Yeah,
I did air quotes.
I
just did air quotes, by the way.
You did.
For anyone who is not watching, I just did air quotes.
Because air quotes are fun.
They are.
So yeah, so I went and found him. It wasn't that hard to find him if you're just plugging in his name in YouTube. And I thought, oh, okay, Scottish, heavy Scottish accent. I'm sure he would probably beg to differ because they're in a big city and they're not in like some little sort of country town where the accents do get a little thicker. Just like here in America, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know what you're talking about, but I feel like the correlation is slightly different because I don't necessarily feel like a heavier version of my accent is that twang accent that you just did.
You don't even have an accent. That's what's crazy.
I don't even have an accent at all. I have no accent.
You sort of have a southern, sort of have a northern accent a little bit, but It's only on certain words and it's not that bad. It's not like Boston or something.
No
offense, Boston.
God,
no offense. No, I don't mean it. Please don't shake me. I'm just saying Boston has a crazy accent. But yeah, so I checked him out. Crazy Scottish accent. Hard to understand if you're just for the first time listening to somebody because he speaks pretty quickly with that accent.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get sort of his such a lilty, nice voice, he's a very pleasant person in real life and on screen, and definitely knows his stuff. 1000% knows what he's talking about when it comes to indicators, and he can break things down like nobody's business. On the Discord, if you ask him about like one thing and you say, hey, tell me about the, moving averages, like which one's best for this or that. He will give you an entire, he goes in depth, like
unpacking it as if it's fun.
Right. But it is, it's a little treat for him. He's like, we get in there for you. But it's so nice that he takes the time to be so in depth with you and tell you why something works the way that it does or why it doesn't work possibly for what you're wanting it to, and why, here's what you might want to do, but very in depth. You asked me what a moving average does, and I'll give you like probably a 5-word answer. He's going to give you like a whole lock
Right.
it loaded.
My explanation would be it's a line that goes up and down, and it goes up and down in different ways depending on what number you plug into it.
It's fair. That's a fair assessment, right? Like some people want the really like explain it to me like on 5 version, and then some people want the reasoning behind it, and I'm sort of in between somewhere. Like,
yeah, I feel like I could, like, you could just literally explain it to me the way I explained it, and then say, okay, now look for this and this and this, and I could use it, but I might be able to feel more confident in it and use it in more sophisticated ways if I understood it more deeply.
sure, but that's what it's all about, your general interest level, I think, because
Yeah,
nobody's really going to go reading all about something unless they're kind of interested in it, right? And
that's right.
Rocky and Jamie aren't forcing anybody to do any of that. They're just saying, if you want to be a better trader,
Oh yeah,
you need to be at least plug in a little bit on some of these things. And so I started watching Rocky, and then found Jamie, and love them both. And they are actual brothers in real life.
brothers, not air quotes.
real non-air quote brothers. And they're both
not air quotes.
Both amazing, super smart. I mean, beyond smart, college educated, both, worked in the industry, trading, and I think, I have a good BS in like radar, and neither one of them set off my BS radar, like in terms of, hey, I'm just on YouTube trying to make some money or trying to get some followers, or
right.
They honestly want to help people, and you can tell that from the Discord, just how much they interact with people and try to help them. It's nothing like people on YouTube that want to get followers because of GameStop or AMC or just whatever. As far as trading goes, they're honestly not too many people are working that hard behind the scenes to help people. So these guys
I
are
totally agree.
Legit. So I'm so happy I found them. But I found them from a different Discord. To answer your first question.
Yeah, that is the interweb. It is a network that will lead you to networks.
So many networks.
So many networks on the web. Yeah. Yeah, I found my way.
How'd you find them?
I found my way to Rocky Outcrop Discord through just the most chaotic shit you could imagine. It's maybe I'm making it sound too dramatic, but anyway, I was
get more dramatic.
I was I was a college dropout. I didn't identify as a college dropout. I identified as a college student in between classes.
That's me for the last 10 years.
Yeah. I feel like that's legit. Like you can go your whole life that way.
You can. I'm still in college, technically.
Yes. And like I was at a very low point in my life back in 2022. I was
back in 2022. This is 2022.
No, my brain.
Back in the day.
I'm at 2020. Yes, and basically I was in a really bad place, crippling debt from very, very bad financial decisions as a college student in between classes. Honestly, that is very confusing to me because I feel like I'm smarter than that, and yet there I was. Yep. And then my brother introduced me to Wall Street Bets and Robinhood. Ooh. And I was like, this is fun. All I want to do is find out some like crazy gamble bets I can take. I've got nothing to lose. And I placed a bet on GameStop, and it coincided with the big run up, and that was the type of play. Like I wouldn't have gotten into it if my brother hadn't been like, dude, look at what's happening. Look at all these people that are hyping this up and pushing it above $20. They're pushing it above $40. Like, come on. There's so many people behind this. You just stick some money in there, you're going to make some. And I was like, Okay.
Yes, right? That's what my friend Chris told me. Same thing. Chris.
Yes,
Chris got me into
yes. So
Girl, just buy it. Okay.
I did some of the most embarrassing, degenerate financial shit that like I was taking out cash advances on cards that already had huge balances and being like, I'm gonna buy a weekly call with this cash advance.
Doing this.
But it was GameStop, right? The first chunk of money I made, cash advance, Robinhood, like weekly call, it broke 60 that week, and I made my money back plus some. And I was like, trading's so easy. Why is anyone scared of trading? Like, come on.
It's so easy.
And then I went all back in with shares, and I was like, Robinhood offers margin? I mean, that's no more risky than what I'm already doing with like being in debt and stuff. Like, I might as well. So like I doubled my position, my GameStop position on margin.
Wow.
That was like the
brave.
week before. Not brave, Sasha. Not brave. Stupid. Okay.
But you did it.
Yes.
Did it pay off?
Yes, it paid off.
Yeah,
it paid off. That week, it went up, and like it got to like around 100 a share, and I was like, oh, I should probably sell half my position and get out of margin at least. So I got out of margin.
Smart.
And then I let it ride up. Like, why am I telling this whole story? I'm talking about how I found Rocky because it's all connected.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. That's right.
Which I would just like to interject really fast and say,
yes.
wasn't that the week that Citron like lost his ass on his shorts?
Yeah, that was the week. That was
right
like
before it went up. It was like the week before, and he had blasted it saying it was going to go down, and everybody just like glommed onto him on Twitter. Like,
yeah, that was like the week, like the historic week where I rode this thing up. Like, I did not give a shit about the movement. I was like, well, this is just opportunity, and I am taking it. So up to like 375, I was like, well, this will cover my debts.
Well done.
Sold out. And then, like, I was good for a while, but I didn't have that grounding in reality that I needed. I didn't have an understanding or grasp of the financial markets or, like, what I wanted to do with my future. I still didn't know if I wanted to just, since I had a little bit of cash, I didn't know if I wanted to just go ahead and go back to school or move out of state or, like, I was so on the fence about everything with no direction.
Big turning point in your life.
Yeah. Like. Yeah, and like I obviously still had whatever bad habits I had that got me into debt in the first place. I still had all of that. It was just like this weird moment where, like, if I had just left it as it was, maybe I could have escaped into the ether and just like did something. But I was just like, I don't know. So my thing was I just went all back in on GameStop, like all back in. And it was like, I think I had like a decent price point. I don't even remember. Like things went up and down, and like I traded it a little bit, and I realized my financials weren't great. And I was like, I need a better job. Like I was working at Papa John's at the time. I got a job at
the worst pizza on the planet. No, Sarah. Oh, at least go Domino's.
Yeah. And like my life started to get hard again, and like I started to get real low. But I was like, I at least need a job where I won't break my car down and I can make a little more money. So I was like, I drive. That's my job history. I will work for Amazon. Mm-hmm. And like, so I got on with Amazon. Amazon's kicking my ass. I'm holding all these GameStop shares. I'm watching.
Our new company.
I'm watching
GameStop.
my financials kind of go to shit again because I'm just like shit with finances. And I'm like, I need to know what's going on. What am I doing? So I put into Google GameStop and I hit search and I found The Masked Investor and I found Hi-Fi. And like I would watch their stuff and then their stuff ended. And I looked again. I was like, who's live right now? Who is live?
How did
right
Pi-Fi stuff ever
now?
end? He's on there like the entire day.
I
Bless
must
his
have
heart.
lost interest.
Yeah.
Because I know my brother's like in love with Pi-Fi. That was like a whole thing. They got a bromance.
He's definitely on there like all day. Like
Yeah.
there's a stamina situation going on there that I can respect him for. Yeah.
Sure, for sure. And then I find trade spotting and I click on it and I'm like, oh, this is fun. He was like swearing and yelling and like
Scottish.
Then he would like say like crazy muttering like voodoo shit that I didn't understand. Like, what is he talking about? And like I'd be driving, but I'd glance down at my phone. Like, is he talking about those like shapes on that screen there? What's going on?
What are these shapes?
What are those shapes? So basically I was hooked. So I found Trade Spotting, was totally hooked, started tuning in like every single day. He redirected me to Rocky Outcrop, and then from there I found my way to the Discord. And all of you lovely people. And now I'm here. And
you are certainly one of the funniest people on the Discord and on YouTube.
I have honed that talent over many years of being a social reject. Okay, you're willing to risk a lot more in the comedy department when everyone just socially rejects you. There's nothing to lose. You just say anything, and when you get a positive reaction, it's like, well, there I go. I can just write that down as something I can use in the future and never face social rejection ever again.
One day you're gonna get on stand up, get on stage and do a stand up show, and I'll be there for it. There's one day in the YouTube channel. I know it's like kind of goofy to just talk about a YouTube channel, but there was one day when Trade Spotting show was on, and you were doing like the numbers of reasons why you were cool, and like everybody else jumped in on it. So then like just everybody for like a half an hour was giving like the number 400.
Yes, it was a sloshing. Cool. Yeah, Jamie used to do like 10-hour sloshings. He would start like at the middle of the day, really early on Friday, and then go to like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, which was like 8 o'clock at his time or something.
Yes.
But remember the first sloshing they did with it was him and Rocky both did it, and they did it with Cosmic Lightning.
That was before my
Jamie
time.
Passed out.
No, that was before my time. No way.
You missed it. Yeah, it's definitely gone from his channel. It got erased. But I think Rocky had to like go check on him or something. I don't know. It was funny. He made it through the night though.
But point being, this is just an incredible, real online trading community. We have a lot of fun. We found each other, and we're going to build better things and bigger things. And like for me, developing,
there's some very smart people.
There are lots of smart people, very steady, stable people. Oh my gosh, I'm hoping that
good at charting.
Yes, I would
like that have like theories about things that are fascinating.
Yes, like really like novel theories that you just watch and you're like, how did they come up with that? That is so smart. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm over here like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and like
so but there are.
I feel like I've learned a lot, and like it's kind of fragmented because my discipline is all over the place, and I feel like I just need to like pull it together. But I know you've learned a lot.
I have, I thought, I never trading for however long I've been trading now, which I really can't remember. I don't know. It's like somewhere like 7 to 9 years. I'm not entirely sure. Exactly. It could be 10. I don't even know. It's probably less than 10. I'm not sure. But I thought I knew a little something because I had like the RSI up on my screen or the MACD.
Yeah. That's something.
And I could find support and resistance. I could find that. But anytime you like find indicators, especially watching like Rocky and Jamie using any of these other tools that you can bring in at certain times, nothing is going to make your trading worse.
Mm-hmm.
Things will only make it better, other than you just not using anything, right? You could be like I did, like for like maybe the first few years I was trading, just be like, I don't know, fuck it, just
Mm-hmm.
let me look at the price action, which you can trade also just looking at price action. I have a friend that trades futures successfully for a living on his own for years now, just using support and resistance. That's it.
Nice.
But he's also trading a very finite amount of, like SPY and a couple other things that are like TQQQ and SQQQ and stuff like that. But using indicators, these guys are, they've got your back. They've got you learning all kinds of things that you can use. And they just want you to have all the tools that you can have, all kinds of things, y'all.
Yeah. I like that, the support and resistance, though, because that's a very patient strategy. As long as you know what the support and resistance are, you know when to get in and get out.
Absolutely. That's why fibs help a lot. It definitely, I think trading in general is a patience game, right?
It is, yeah.
No matter what tools you're using. But I would like to just say touch on your college situation, your college, everything was going wrong, or
yes.
you felt like you were floating around in space. A lot of people feel that way. Like, you're definitely not alone. And I hope people will listen and be inspired by the fact that, like, you don't have to, first of all, you don't have to finish college. You don't have to, if you don't want to, if it's not your thing.
Yeah.
Just go find something and be good at it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not going to be less of a person unless you're trying to just hang out with like all of the Rothschilds of the world, and they'll look down upon you and snub their nose at you because you don't have a college degree or something. No. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people that went to college and finished, and they're not intelligent. And they just, right. I don't know how they got through college. They just did. And
yeah. Like,
it doesn't make them smart or great at anything.
If you can take care of yourself, or at least be as responsible for yourself as you need to be in your situation, and you are content, then that's perfect.
Yeah.
I do feel that. I really do.
Everybody screws up their money in the beginning. I feel, I'm sure there's some people that don't, but I feel like almost everybody does to some degree.
Yeah.
It's how you get yourself out of it and what you learn from that.
Yeah.
And how you move forward. And
now I feel like I'm going to have to slow down a lot. Like, just like slow down a lot, because I still have that primal urge to place big bets on things I'm not sure about. And there have been a few times, I haven't talked about it a lot, where it has kind of messed me up a little bit. And I'm like, whoa, Sarah, this is like the opposite of what we're trying to do here. Can you just slow down?
This is a casino, though. It is a casino. But you do, yes. I mean, people at hedge funds do the same thing. They go all in on something that, or put a huge chunk of money towards something that really it's a bet. Even the people like that have the capacity to move markets, they can still be wrong. Obviously,
very first experience. My very first experience with placing a risky bet paid off. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm in so much trouble psychologically because it paid off immediately.
I totally know what you mean, though, because I actually can relate hugely. My first trade did not go that way. Mm-hmm. However, the very first time I ever sat down at a slot machine, the very first quarter I put into it, I won the jackpot.
No.
And so I thought, oh God, this is so easy.
Yes.
And every time I went to a casino after, I would win the jackpot on a machine. It's crazy. I have like crazy luck. And I do think luck follows you. You just have to have a mindset of being someone that, is lucky. However, trading is not just luck based, but I totally get your mentality towards it, because it is a little confusing when, like, the very first trade you make a bunch of money and you're like, oh, well,
yes,
how hard could this be? I mean, I put money in, it went up. That, I guess that's just what happens, right?
That's just what happens, man.
but I totally see where you're coming from there, because you have to get out of that mindset, because it is not how it works at all. Sometimes you can get very lucky. Sometimes you're very unlucky. But if you have an idea, because you've been charting of where it's going to go, you'll have so much better luck, I guess. with it.
Yeah. Yes.
Luck. I don't know. Luck-ish.
Well, it's about
Like
it's
luck and smart.
probabilities, right? So
probability.
if you can like tweak your probabilities and
Mhm.
choose, like, deliberately choose probabilities that in fact are higher.
Right.
Yes, that's gonna help out a lot.
Sarah's
Yeah.
just out here, just give me a ticker. I want to make money.
I am so articulate, and it's such a scam because I am so emotional. But I don't know. I believe in myself. I believe I'm going to get it together, and it's going to be okay.
I think you are. You're taking the course too. They have a course they
Yes.
offer,
Yes, that's
and
right.
they've got lots of drills, and apparently you're
Mhm.
learning lots of things there. I think that's
Mhm.
great. Yeah. Maybe I'll take it one day. You never know. People that trade and I've done it for a long time, always think they're the best at it and they don't need to learn anything else. And I'm here to tell you that even if you've been trading for 20 years and you're listening to me talk right now, you can still learn something, and you probably need to brush up on some stuff because people forget.
Probably.
There's a lot of things to remember when you're trading, and everybody can
Yeah.
keep brushed up on things and learn new things.
That's
There's
right.
always new things coming out too. There's always like new oscillators and indicators and whatever else.
And just the people that post in the different rooms on the Discord, they come up with new things that aren't even like, it's like, that is so smart and it works. Tell me more. Let's talk about this.
Not to mention Rocky's Flash, which he invented, and that's like probably one of the best indicators I've ever used. It's very accurate to a very high percentage. People are always coming up with things.
Yeah.
So get out there and learn.
Get out there and learn. All right. Well, I feel like we've had a very great conversation here. It was a lot of fun.
We have.
And I hope to have you on Traders of
What's your favorite?
What?
Do you have a favorite indicator?
No.
Just curious.
No.
Never mind.
I'm way too fragmented to have a favorite indicator. I'm like,
what do you mean?
I have clicked the buttons on all of them and been like, I remember hearing about this one. and like that's kind of as far as it goes. But
I've heard of this before.
Next time we talk, maybe I'll have
I like the volume
an
profile.
answer for you. Volume profile.
Volume profile is my favorite. I love it. It's amazing. You have to use it to trade, in my opinion. That's just me.
Volume profile.
Look into it, people. Volume profile.
It's not financial advice. It's just a very smart thing to say and think about.
Do not. If you don't make money, don't play.
Don't get mad at us.
Yeah, trading's fun.
It is.
It is. We love each other.
All
of us on the Discord. Besties forever. But hey, are we finished?
We are.
Okay.
I am ready to.
Thanks for having me.
Eat potatoes. Yeah, you're welcome.
I knew you were going to have potatoes. How did I know that? I knew it.
I don't know, because I'm white and you're racist.
Sarah, the potatoes are white.
Was that too edgy to say?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But I don't want people writing me or calling me saying, hey, I heard you're racist.
It's okay. No one knows. If they want to contact you, they have to go onto Rocky's Patreon and pick a level they're comfortable with, and then they can come on the Discord and they can find you.
They can call me potato racist.
Potato racist. All right. Well, have a good night, Sasha. We'll do this again sometime.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
Okay, bye.